right? I'm sure many of you may be confused with these words, AI, ML, and data science. What are the link between them? Apart from that, what are different branches of, for example, let us put ML. We will learn what is ML, and then we'll try to understand what are the different branches of ML, and then we'll understand what is the current trend. Okay, perfect. So we are going to have a very interactive session. I would request all of you, if you have any query, please keep posting them. I may have a look at them. Okay. Also, instead of showing you pre-prepared slides, we'll have a good discussion on the current trend at the end of the topic. So first, let us understand what is data science. Okay. But before we do that, let us understand what are the different types of data. Anyone? If I have to put some bracket to the data, what are the different types of data? So for example, we can say that you have numerical data. For example, stock market, stock prices, right? You have image data, right? For example, the pictures you click, right? Those are all image data. And lastly, you have text data, right? Obviously, you know about this. All the Google search, etc., what you do with, and what data you have, say, the address of all your employees, for example, right? All these are text data, right? All these are text data. So I am saying from the part of processing it, right? Now, obviously, it can be further generalized that it is structured, unstructured, right? And within them, we will have these kind of data, numerical, image, and text data. But essentially, from practical point of view, these are the three major buckets in which you have data in today's day and frame. How many of you are with me till here? Please raise your hand. Right? Now, as a data scientist, so let us, because all of you want to understand about this, as a data scientist, you are expected to process or create business values out of this data. Is it clear to everyone? So data scientist is paid basically to process this numerical data, image data or text data, and create business values out of this data. Now, what are the tools? The tools which are required will obviously be processing huge volume of data, manipulating data, whatever tools are required for that, and at the end of it, creating something called models on your data. Okay. So what is data science in general? Perfect. Many of you have written good answers. So for example, in general, data science can refer in industry to different types of things depending on what the context is. Okay. But Data science in industry refers to data science refers to gathering, analyzing, and interpreting large sets of data to extract meaningful insights and make informed decision. Okay, so it, as a data scientist, you will have to at the end do this. If you're not able to do this, the companies may not pay you for that, right? So essentially data science for you is meaningful insights and making informed decisions out of your data. And this data can be of numerical nature, image nature, or text nature, right? Essentially, for doing this, you will require a strong foundation on statistics, right? Mathematics and computer science. Okay, to some extent, computer science, because you will also have to deploy your models. Okay. How many of you are with me till here? Can I move forward? Perfect. So now the next part of it is, what is AI? Anyone? What do you understand by AI here? Yeah, AI is artificial intelligence. Then what is difference between, let's put it this way, what is the difference between AI and data science? AI is a subset of data science. Okay. Data science is the algorithms used to train the machines. Very good. AI is one of the applications from outcomes of data science. DS is technique to produce data, which collectively called AI. AI uses data science to train models. Wow. Very good answers, all of you. I'm so happy to see this. All of you are coming with your own version of data science and AI and their relationship between them, right? I agree with all of you. So there is no general definition like a standard definition given between artificial intelligence and data science. But as many of you have put out, data science provides the crucial raw material for AI, that is data. So for example, if you don't do this, gathering, analyzing, and interpreting large amounts of data, you will not be able to create AI. So first of all, let's go one step behind. AI is nothing but artificial intelligence. Now you may ask, I have heard about this many a times. Still, I'm confused. What do you mean by artificial intelligence, right? Similar to how you have artificial light. How many of you use artificial light? All of us, right? We just don't depend on natural light. We depend on artificial light also. So can I ask, how is artificial light generated? Right? It is generated using electricity. Right? At night or in the daytime, you have electricity running at your homes. It helps you generate the artificial light. How many of you are following me till here? Please raise your hand. Yeah. Now, similar to this, in today's world, you cannot work without artificial light. Similarly, artificial intelligence is nothing but supplementing your natural intelligence. Right? Now, my question to all of you is, what do you mean by So artificial light is generated using electricity. How is artificial intelligence generated? So AI is generated using data and processing it to learn about the action to be taken. So for example, in if you have to move from point A to point B, right? You have to travel from point A to point B. What do? You will go and check on Google Maps what is the time taken, right? When you do search on Google engine, there is auto completion of your job, right? When you use your camera, there is detection of your faces and applying filters on them, right? So all this is what? All this automation which is happening, all this automation which is happening is nothing but done using artificial intelligence. How many of you are clear till here? So now you may ask, what is the third lingo which is machine learning? So machine learning is nothing but a subset of AI. So as I said, artificial intelligence is also generated, right? So how do you generate it? You have to generate it by teaching machine to learn the pattern in a data, right? So for example, what happens if you log into your Gmail account from a new device? All of you, what happens there? It will ask you with some additional security features, right? So how does this happen? Can anyone tell me how does this happen? Because it learns the pattern, right? It learns the pattern that you always log in from device A and B, but how come today you have chosen C? There is some anomaly, right? So what has machine learned? The machine has learned the pattern of the usage, right? The pattern of the usage. So machine learning is the art of teaching machine with historical data. You teach machine with historical data. Now, how does the machine learn? How does the machine learn? It learns through what? It learns through what? Something called algorithms. All of you, can you write this and send it to me? Algorithms. Now, what are these algorithms? These algorithms are nothing but some mathematical models, which is nothing but doing data science. This mathematical models can also be termed as data science, right? You are doing some science on your data, which is learning. The machine is learning through this algorithm. What is the science behind this data, right? So every aspect of data analysis, anomaly detection, feature engineering, those are aspects of data scientists. Okay. So if I have to roughly draw a Venn diagram, I can draw something like this. For example, Suppose this is AI, right? This is AI. Then, or let me make it simple then. I'll make it simple. Suppose let's do it this way. Suppose this is AI, right? This is AI. Then machine learning is a part of AI through which you can. So machine learning is basically a art through which you create AI. So machine learning can be termed a subset of AI, and data science is something like this, where you have some part which is common with machine learning, something in AI, and then you may have something which does not relate to AI, but is still a science part of it. So essentially, if I have to say, all of you, machine learning is the part where you teach the machine to learn, the algorithms, the analysis, everything which is required in order to teach a machine becomes a part of data science. And AI is what? It's the outcome of machine learning plus data science. Does it make sense to all of you? Yeah? Okay. So now let us focus on how do you teach machine, right? So the answer was algorithms. But depending on the type of algorithm or depending on the way how you teach your machine, machine learning is also divided into subsections. So there are three kinds of machine learning. One is called supervised learning. Let me increase the size of my pen. Supervised learning, machine learning. Then there is something called unsupervised machine learning. And there is something called reinforcement learning. Reinforcement machine learning. All of you, can you write this again? Machine learning, right? I will teach you now. So what is machine learning? I hope everyone is clear. The art of teaching machine, right? Art of teaching machine using algorithms. And how do you teach machine? By using data, right? All the data. So for example, I have 1 million images. Okay, I have 1 million images. I want the machine to learn where the faces are. So it is called a face detection model, right? The machine will find out where the face is. So I need to teach the machine with 1 million images that, okay, this is the way. This is about processing 1 million images, right? And teaching the machine how to look at the faces. So essentially, all of you, if you can write and send it to me, what are different ways to teach a machine? Supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforcement learning. Right now in industry, majorly, most of the projects are focused on using machine learning with supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. Okay, these are the two terms which you have to understand. Okay, now what is supervised machine learning? What is supervised machine learning and what is unsupervised machine learning? What is the difference between them? And I'll give you some examples to understand that. Okay, now suppose this is an image, right? Suppose this is an image. Okay, if I am teaching it to a child, right, what will I say? that this is the ear, right? These are the eyes, right? This is your mouth. This is your nose. And overall, this is your face. How many of you are getting what I'm saying? I'm saying that suppose I have to teach a small child, say a 3-year-old child, that what are eyes, what are nose? Will I just tell them initially itself that this is an image? Find the eyes. Will I directly ask the question, find the eyes? Or will I teach the child first that these are eyes? And then I will ask it, okay, you now find the eyes. How many of you are getting what I'm saying? So essentially what you're doing, here is, essentially this is what is called supervision, where you teach the machine like how you teach a nursery child with something known as labeled data. What do you mean by labeled data? Here we teach the machine, say with 1 million images. So suppose this is one image, this is second image, where the child is standing here, not in the center. Then I will show the machine that this is your face, right? Third image is like this, upside down, suppose, right? Here I will teach this is the face, right? So if I'm teaching the machine, 1 million machine with a target variable, with a defined target variable, then what will the machine do? It will learn, okay, this is how my face looks. So when you show it an unknown image, because you have trained it with a target variable, it will be able to detect now, okay, this is how your image face should be, because it has learned from the previous training, right? So this is known as supervised learning, where you train the machine with a known output. So you have X is your input. What is the input here? The input is the image, and you get a Y output. What is the output here? Detecting the faces. So when you teach the machine, when you train the machine that this is my output, right? And this is my input, this is known as supervised learning. How many of you are getting the idea? Please raise your hand. Is it helping you all? Right? Now, what is unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, you just give the input, but you don't define any output. So, for example, you give the image, you give 3 millions of images to the machine. What it will do, it will just tell you that, okay, this looks like same pattern, or what we call same cluster. So these are all greens, because it understands, okay, these are round shape, this is some new pattern. And suppose this hands, it understands is another pattern, and this it understands is the third pattern. So how many patterns it has found in the image? It has found 3 patterns in the image. But we did not teach the machine what is each of this pattern. It is learning on its own and telling you, okay, these are the 3 patterns. I don't know what are these patterns, but I know there are 3 different kinds of pattern. This is known as unsupervised learning. Like how you teach students in college, right? In college, how do you teach? You don't teach them by, spoon feeding them. you may just tell them, or in your corporate world, you will not spoon feed, right? You will just say, I want you to learn how to make a graph, right? Now you will not show them that this is how you make a graph, this is the way to do it. You'll just tell them, learn how to make a graph. Your employees will go and learn on themselves and come back and they will apply it. So this is something like that, that this is unsupervised. You're not supervising what you're learning. The machine itself is learning from the pattern. Does this make sense to all of you? Right? So essentially, if I have to again make the map, machine learning, two major types. There is third one, as I said, that is related to robotics. Let's ignore that for now. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning. Okay. And in unsupervised learning, you again have major two categories called regression and classification. How many of you are clear till here? Perfect. Okay. So now I want to explain you a little more technical, and then we'll go into the examples and the future and what you have to learn if you want to become a data scientist. Regression here is, so what is supervised learning? Your X is giving Y and your Y is labeled, right? You are telling the machine what is your Y, right? What you have to target, what targeted learning you have to do. When it is called regression when your Y is continuous data. What do you mean by continuous data? Suppose I ask you that predict the price of Facebook or Meta, predict the price of stock price of Meta tomorrow or TCS tomorrow, right? You will have to learn and output a continuous data, right? It will be some numbers which will be continuous in nature. How much sales will you make if I spend so much on promotion? Right? These are all continuous data. It's called regression. Okay. What is classification? Will it rain tomorrow? Will it rain tomorrow? If suppose your machine is trying to predict based on the weather today, it will either predict 0 or 1. That is, it will rain, yes, no, or yes. So if your data is discontinuous or it has having some categories, right? Will you, will your customer buy the product, right? Yes or no? You have to predict. That is known as classification. Okay. So essentially, machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, within supervising learning, regression and classification. Now, as a data scientist, you will have to learn everything here. You may have to learn what are the algorithms to do regression, what are the algorithms to do classification, what are the mathematical concepts to do unsupervised machine learning. As a data scientist, you are also expected to learn reinforcement learning. You are also expected to learn the new techniques which are coming into the market. For example, I'll teach you later LLMs, or what everyone calls Gen AI, or what everyone calls in general Chat GPT, right? These are also some data science models. Okay, what they do, they process, instead of numerical data, they process text data. Okay, so text data processing are done using these techniques, a data scientist is expected to know that also. How many of you are following what I'm saying? So essentially, the key takeaways for all of you is a data scientist will know how to process text data, all the algorithms required for that, will know how to process image data, all the algorithms required, tools required for it, right? The tools required for it. So you are expected not only to understand the algorithms, but also how to apply using using Python tools, which I will show you what are those tools. And third is you also are expected to process text data, right? So suppose I ask you that this is a set of text data, extract all the names of countries here. Whatever country names are there in this text data, extract that. That is also known as, that is also expected. Those models which are required to run it, how does it work? All these things is expected from a data scientist. Anyone has any queries till now? Do let me know. Anyone has any questions here? So I'm covering the basics. I hope all of you are getting the idea, right? So one thing is clear, you require for a data scientist a good understanding of mathematical models, or what I call the algorithms. You are expected to know good understanding about the statistics, how to process text data, how to analyze image data, how to do, description of the data. All these things are expected. Plus, you are expected to be reading about the new stuff which is happening, reading about, updating yourself about the new techniques. Okay. As a data scientist, you are also expected, which will be coming naturally to all of you, is to learn how to code or apply the relevant tools. That is also required. So this is, when I come to here, let me elaborate a bit. How many of you know Python? Okay. How many of you may have heard about Python R, you may have heard about MATLAB, you may have heard about coding languages like C++, C, right? Currently, Python is the most popular because it is open source. You have a bigger community, active community here. And also, which I will just show you, there are more tools available in Python compared to other softwares in order to apply state of the art, the new techniques, state of the art techniques required for doing data science or creating AI or doing machine learning. I'm using all the term interchangeably. Whatever you want to do, you want to apply machine learning, you want to create a data AI using that, you will have to learn about these tools which you apply, help you apply state of the art. So Python has robust pipeline for that, and hence it is very popular right now. Okay. So Python is the tool you will have to learn. Now within Python, right? Nowadays, Python are used by, web developers also, right? They are used by, lot other things. Python is application developers, right? All of them are using Python at the back end. Many of them are using Python at the back end. But as a data scientist, you are also expected to learn Python, but the packages required for app development or web development are not same as data science, right? So for data science, you require to learn certain packages. So for example, if you have to do statistics, right, you will have to use a package called SkyPy or a package called stats model or a package called NumPy, a package called pandas. So as a data scientist, you should know how to apply these packages within Python. How many of you are following what I'm trying to say here? So I'm now going into the skill side of it, right? What skills are required for that, right? Secondly, for data manipulation, now that you have created, you know your data, you have to clean your data. There is something called cleaning of data, right? A lot of things are required for cleaning of data. So for that, again, you will have to learn NumPy, pandas, right? So these are some important packages which you will have to learn in order to manipulate or process your data, how to clean your data, whether your data is making sense or not. All these things you have to do using NumPy and pandas. Apart from this, you will require something called data visualization, right? So for data visualization, that is basically you have to create graphs, right? You have to create beautiful graphs. So for this, a data scientist may have to know about the paid softwares like Tableau, Power BI, right? All these are production level, softwares. But if you're not doing production level, then there are a lot of packages like Seaborn, right? Matplotlib. Or these are free open source packages which can be used to create graphs. So as a data scientist, you need to understand what kind of graph to make, when to make what kind of graph, what is the graph trying to infer. All these you will have to do using the data science tools of Python's, which is Seaborn and Matplotlib. Lastly, after doing this, you will have to do what? Machine learning. Machine learning, right? So whatever data you have prepared, whatever data you have learned, now you want it to be taught to a machine. So for this, Python has packages like sklearn, right? There are packages from TensorFlow. From Google, there is something called TensorFlow. From PyTorch. So all these are machine learning which already has all the algorithms inbuilt inside it. You just need to call them and apply them. And this is the skill you will have to learn as a data scientist. How many of you are following me till here? Does it make sense to all of you? Any outstanding question till here or anything else you want to understand? So what I'm showing you all is, I started by showing AI, machine learning, data scientist. I'm kind of inferring that machine learning and data science can be used interchangeably, though technically they are different, but they can be used interchangeably under data science. What all tools you need to learn, I'm just listing them out here. Okay. Perfect. Now, what is the state of the art in data science right now? Can anyone tell me? Or state of the art in AI right now? What is the flavor of the current theme of AI in the market, where maximum jobs are planned now, or new jobs will come? Yeah, many of you have written ChatGPT. In general, there is a new term coined called Gen AI. Generative AI, right? And in general, you may have heard about Chat GPT, right? So this is one form of generative AI. So why it is called, it is state of the art, or why it is in news right now? Because till now, processing text data, right? Can anyone tell me where you have learned or where you have seen AI of text data? Most of you may have used it. All of you? Yes, search, very good. Where else? Search is very good. MS Word, yes. Google. I think most of you may have used previously. Say if I go to icicibank.com, you see here there is something called a chatbot, right? So this chatbot is nothing but what? It is a AI tool, right? It's a AI thing. So suppose I ask about a home loan, right? It will answer me where you can find the details about home loan. If your dream home, make it a reality, whatever. So I hope all of you are getting this is AI, right? This is the traditional AI. But suppose I ask this chatbot, what is the weather today? Right? It will not be able to answer. I'm not sure if I got that. Could you please try rephrasing your question? How many of you are getting what I'm saying? Why? Because this chatbot is not trained to process such kind of data. Does it make sense to all of you? But now, recently, there is something called ChatGPT. And in ChatGPT, you can say, tell me a joke uh, on say elephant with the ant. Right, I'm just making it up. Why did the elephant refuse to play cards with the ant? Because the ant kept trying to sneak a peek at his hand. So whatever it is, tell me a riddle, tell me a riddle. Right? So this is kind of generating new things for all of you. How many of you are getting what I'm trying to explain? So the ICICI chatbot, right? It was not able to generate any intelligence for you. It was not able to do that, right? But when it came to ChatGPT, what happened? When it came to ChatGPT, or what we call generative AI, what it does, it can generate new content based on the learnings of historical content. So it learns from the historical content, but it has moved a step forward. Now it is able to generate the content also. For those of you, if it is making sense, please raise your hand. Okay, so currently the market or the job market are looking for specialists in generative AI. They are always looking for the traditional AI, what we call traditional AI, but generative AI are the new, section of jobs which are coming in the market. What are expected to it? They expect that you should be able to create something like, to create first of all applications based on LLMs or what we call Gen AI. So I'm sorry, there are three major terms which I'm using interchangeably right now. One is Gen AI, that is the normal term or the broader term. Then you have LLMs, that is large language model. And in general, Chat GPT is one kind of that model. There are other models, but Chat GPT is one kind of LLM which is very well known or viral. But there are other LLMs also. So that is what I'm trying to say. They expect that you should be able to create applications based on Gen AI. So basically, they want you to know about all the LLMs in market. Is it Chat GPT? If it is Bard, if it is Llama, all these things you are expected to know, right? Why? Basically, you want to process text data and create business values. Okay, so you are expected to learn about the LLMs, which is nothing but processing text data at a large scale and creating business values out of it. The other thing they want from you is you should be able to retrain. Say, for example, I want to retrain my Chat GPT with some specialized law data related to law. I want to make it more specialized for that. How do you do that? So for that, you require a good data scientist who has this knowledge, right? So there are frameworks like LangChain, etc., which are used here, and you are expected to have good command over that. Okay. So overall, if I have to summarize the learnings for all of you, overall, or summarize the learnings from this webinar, you may have understand the importance of AI. You may have understood what is machine learning. You may have understood as a data scientist, you are expected to create AI, do machine learning, know about all the mathematical models. And the state of the art right now, you may have got an idea, is processing text data using LLMs, which is nothing what you called as Chat GPT. As a data scientist, this is where currently the trend is emerging towards. That I don't want to use artificial intelligence only to make predictions. I want it to start generating new content, and that is what is the future of data science. With this, I'll end today's webinar. In case anyone has outstanding questions or anything, please ask me those questions. I will try to answer that. All of you, please feel free to ask your questions. I can answer that. Do let me know your feedback also. So a good question has come up. Is there a generative AI model for image data? Very good question. So there are good number of products now. In fact, OpenAI, the one who has created ChatGPT, they have also a product called, let me show you. They also have a product called DALL-E, which can generate image based on text. So for example, let me give you a demo quickly. Okay, it is asking me to log in. Okay, there are some more, it may take time to log in now, so I just... There are some websites like Stability AI also where you can create images, right? How do you create images? Let me just show you. Yeah, suppose, let's see. Suppose I ask, create a image with the face of horse and a and the back of a, say, elephant. So suppose I try this. Oh, it's asking for pro this thing. There are few platforms also. I may have to log in there. I can show you all later maybe. But yes, there are a lot of image related generative AI also. Can we find text from image with bounding box coordinates using Gen AI? Yes, Yogi. So there are some techniques called OCR through which you read the text data on an image data. So that also is expected of a data scientist. Okay, that some data scientists are specialized for that. So if you see all the scanning tools, all those tools, they are using optical character recognition, which is also a part of data science. Perfect. Thank you all. I think I'll end the session here. What is the relationship between data scientists and deep learning? Yeah, deep learning are the algorithms. So there are one set of algorithms which are based on neural networks. Okay, this is based on the maths of neural networks. These are called deep learning. Okay, I hope it is making sense. So they are just the algorithms. A data scientist specialized in neural networks will have a good understanding of deep learning techniques. I hope this answers your question, Mohammad Manauni. Perfect. Thank you all for your patience. It was really fun teaching you all today about the future of data science, also about the history of data science. I hope you all enjoyed the session as much as I did. Till then, thank you. Thank you all. I can read your feedbacks. In case you have any feedback, you can pass it on the chat box. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your time. Bye. Take care. Explained so simply. Great session. Great. Good to know all this. Awesome and learned new things. Great. Hey, thank you all for your feedback. It helps me keep motivated. Take care. All the best. Bye.